Well, here we go again, another round. So, the question of the day: will AI take my job in 2025? I have heard this request so many times, hundreds of times. I think I probably get this request at least once every 15 to 20 emails. It's one of these things where people are so concerned and overly concerned about AI that they feel like AI is immediately just going to sweep in and make them unemployed. In fact, a recent survey showed that many colleges that specialize in computer science type classes are having people actually bow out and not take those classes or leave those degrees and go for other degrees because they feel like AI is going to take over all of those jobs here in the near future. So the question is, how real is that fear? And what can we do to subside the fear? Or is it a real fear? Is it legitimate? What do we need to do and what can we be thoughtful about? So, here's my thoughts on the topic, and I'm trying to pull this all together because there's so much to unpack here. But I'll start with a good analogy because you know I like a story. So, here we go. If we had two kids that were both, I don't know, freshmen in college and they were taking a test, one of the kids scored 80%, and it took them 20 minutes to take the test, and the other kid scored 94%, and it took them 4 hours to take the test. Which kid is smarter? What if it took them 30 days to take the test? I think you see where I'm going here, right? What I'm trying to say is that AI still is in its infancy, and it's still at a point where it's only hovering, even with the latest ChatGPT large model. It's still at 80-85% accuracy for many things, which is impressive. Don't get me wrong. But the amount of effort, time, and tokens that it takes even to process a small request is astronomical. So what I'm saying is, if you're looking at it from a cost performance perspective, it would actually be less expensive to have a human do the simple tasks than it would be to have AI do the simple tasks, even though AI touts that it can do all the mundane things that a human can do so the human can work on something else, which is really, really interesting. So how do we get to the point where we figure out which one's better, where we figure out what's happening? So here is my thoughts on where the job market's going, where AI is going, what I see happening. Number one fact: no matter what your job is, I'm going to say that again, no matter what your job is, if you are not focusing at all on learning AI, you need to be focused. You need to focus on learning AI. And I'm not saying learn it end to end, but you should understand the basic formula to writing a good prompt. You should understand how you can leverage AI to do your job better. So here's my quick advice. If someone came to me and said, why do I need to learn AI? Here is how I would position this to them. I would say what I want you to do is a homework assignment that incorporates two questions. The first question is, what are the top 5 things, the top 5 items that I feel like I struggle the most with at work? What are the top 5 things that I have trouble doing? And it can be anything. What are the top 5 things I have trouble doing, right? Then I want you to take those 5 things and ask yourself, could I use AI, or how could I use AI to help make those things better, easier, or more comfortable for me? If the answer is you can use AI to do some of those things, and you can use it to give you a starting point or to help make things more comfortable, by all means, take that into consideration. But the second question is probably the more important question. What are the 5 things that I'm doing right now that AI could do for me that I wouldn't have to do anymore? That could give me free up time and give me more time to do other things. This is the more interesting question of the two. And unfortunately, for many individuals who are in the workplace, even in technology jobs, the answer is, I don't know, right? A lot of people come in and they say, I don't know what AI is going to do. I don't know whether it can write code for me. I don't know how it does quality management. I don't know how it does certain things. I don't know how it handles change management. I don't know how it deals with product management or product development. You don't know enough information to make an informed decision. So the key here isn't necessarily to say AI is coming for my job, run for the hills, or I need to get a new career, right? Because that's not where we are yet. Yes, I said yet. I think over time, AI is going to be able to do a lot of the technology skills and things that we normally could do. But it doesn't mean that people are going to go away. And I think that's the big misalignment here, if you will. People are always going to be needed to, one, help execute the proper prompts to teach AI to become better at what it does. And two, people are always going to be needed to humanize what AI does. Although many people say AI is getting so much better at understanding emotionality, yes, it is, but it's still not to the point where it's human and it can make decisions without bias, empathy based decisions without bias. It's not to the point where it can do many physical things that a human could do. So the point I'm trying to make is, as long as there are physical aspects of what you do that AI cannot replicate at this time, and as long as there are times for you to consider empathy or non-judgmental, no bias, non-judgmental, factoring, you're always going to need a human to prompt up or support it. So for the question to be answered, will I take my job in 2025? There's probably a 95% chance that answer is no. The only way AI is going to take your job in 2025 is if you don't take the time to learn about AI. If you even learn the basic functionality of what AI is and how it works, that will keep you afloat for now. That will keep you in your position because leaders want to know, okay, this is cutting edge. I want to know who knows about it and what do you know about it? And if you're on that cutting edge and you can show your leadership team, hey, I took the time to learn and this is what I found out and this is what I know, that's what they want. That's what they want to hear. That's what they want to see. And that's when they want to go, yes, you are on the cusp of the big thing. If you came in and said, I know nothing, and all of your peers went to a basic AI class and understand basic prompt writing and all those things, it's going to put you at an inherent disadvantage and the odds of you losing your job increase. But the three key things that you need to remember is, one, if you're doing your job well, take the time to uplift others and help them do their job well. Two, if you are in a position where you haven't heard of AI, go out and take a class on AI and learn about the basics so that you can get ahead of the game, so that you can be ahead of the curve. And three, don't live in fear. I'm going to say that again. Do not live in fear. If you do the things that you're supposed to do, you're going to be guided to go into the direction that you need to go, and you're going to be inspired and uplifted to do the things that you need to do in order to make your future possible. So whether AI is part of your future or not, whether you're in a position of understanding AI completely or just a little, those things are all going to contribute to what you're going to be doing in the future. But in 2025, I want you to live inspired. I want you to think of a higher cause at a higher level. I don't want you to keep thinking as basic as you did in 2024. I want you to ask yourself, what can I do to elevate? What can I do to get to that next step, right? So instead of all this focus on negativity and where is, what's going to happen to me next and woe is me, we need to learn to focus harder on the positivity and the things that we can do to make a difference both at home and at work. And those are the things that are going to uplift us and make us be where we need to be. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Do take care.